Middle Eastern bully Israel and the Middle East. Kokachiro Flathead. Who is stronger? In the Middle East today, Israel is without a doubt the hottest star. Popular spicy chicken. Although Israel, it's just a small country with a population of less than 10 million, but it is famous for being able to fight. As an Israeli, a country with too many people as the main nation, Israel in the Arab Middle East. It's not popular. The neighbors around. I am not Israel's thorn in the eye. Want to get rid of it and then hurry up. So from the founding of the country in 1948, Israel and its neighbors. Residents are always in conflict. Israelis don't fight every day. Just on the way to fight. However, more than half a century later, Israel never loses a fight. The surrounding neighbors have been tittied up obediently. Well thought all over the Middle East invincible. To this day, Israel is already part of the ceiling in the region. Level of existence known as the Middle East bully. Compared to the rise of the Israeli rebels, Iran is an old gun in the Middle East. As early as 2,000 years ago, the Persians have already dominated the Middle East. The Persian Empire at its height. It trampled the whole of West Asia under its feet. Dominion over 7 million square kilometers. It was one of the most powerful empires in the world at that time. Qin Shi Huang has to drink a pot. The current Iran is like a warrior in the Middle East. Unafraid to show its power to all parties. No matter who you are facing, dare to shake your fists. Even in the face of the mighty old American. The people will never back down. Keep American soldiers on deck. Submit to their might. So, in a nutshell, Iran's credo of survival is fearless life and death. If you don't submit, you will fight. As the saying goes, one mountain cannot tolerate two tigers. But what if those two are tigers of different sexes? Israel Yoichiro is here. The same situation. One of them is the brave bully of the Middle East. The other is a tough Middle Eastern tough guy. Are a strong presence in the Middle East. So over the years, relations between the two countries have been tense. There are even officials. Zhang dialect wants to wipe each other off the map. So here's the problem. As the powerhouses of the Middle East, who is better? Usually we evaluate the strength of a country, mainly looking at the economy, military, and political aspects. So let's start with these three dimensions. Conduct in-depth analysis. From an economic perspective, the Middle East is a blessing. Rich oil resources. It became a place of wealth. Many countries can get rich just by exporting oil. Full life. For example, these two countries, the beneficiaries of oil. But not all countries in the Middle East enjoy oil. The wealth brought. Israel, for example, although it is located in the east, but its homeland is not rich in oil resources. You even have to import oil from abroad to meet demand. Despite this, the people of Israel still enjoy a good life. Israel today. Moderated by machine, one of the most developed countries in the Middle East. Its economic performance has been very impressive, according to World Bank statistics. Israel's GDP in 2021. The total amount reached a staggering $480 billion. Its population is about 9.30 million. Its per capita GDP is $51,000. And that number is truly remarkable around the world. Even with the British, France and other traditional developed countries are comparable. The takeoff of the Israeli economy, to a large extent, due to its outstanding performance in the field of science and technology, as Mr. Deng Xiaoping said. Science and technology are the primary productive forces. Israel is a highly industrialized country. Its knowledge-intensive industries and technological innovation enterprises. Per capita ownership ranks among the top of the century. In agriculture, low tank equipment in Israel, and breeding technology world-renowned. The agricultural products it cultivates not only have high yields and high quality. As a desert country, Israel is facing water, the challenge of a serious shortage of resources and agricultural infrastructure, but with its advanced agricultural technology, successfully achieved food self-sufficiency. And here's what's remarkable. Israeli agricultural products. It is also exported in large quantities to overseas markets, especially its fruits. It is highly competitive in the international market. Therefore, it is known as the European orchid in the public. In the field of industry, there is a striking phenomenon in Israel. A sparsely populated, less than 10 million countries. But alone, he developed his own aviation career with a discerning eye. This country can not only develop its own aircraft, you can even launch satellites successfully, demonstrated its powerful technological capabilities. In addition, he is a leading researcher in biological sciences. The region is also a global leader. Medical. The competitiveness of the pharmaceutical industry is also not limited to the community. It is worth mentioning that the world's first capsule indoor peak mirrors are developed and produced in this country. The novelty of these high-tech industries not only did it increase the country's industrial output, it also generates huge profit margins for it, enabling the country to maintain its position on the global economic stage. Hold strong competitiveness. In comparison, the economic situation in another country, it seems more serious. Although this country is rich in natural resources, especially oil resources, its reserves and production are among the best in the world. It is one of the world's leading oil exporters. However, unlike countries that rely on technology for development, the country relies mainly on resource exports, especially the oil industry. The economy is a pillar of its economy. Logically speaking, Iran as a major oil producer, the country should have a strong economy, enough to live a luxurious life. However, the reality is not so. Despite the abundance of resources, but the country is currently facing many challenges, making the economy not as smooth as expected. Since the 1970s, Iran has undergone political change. Major events such as 200 million conflict, serious loss of national strength, subsequent to economic sanctions for confrontation with the United States. The domestic economy has been sluggish for a long time, with limited oil resources. It is difficult to achieve a fundamental economic recovery in the short term, so Iran is still ahead economically. According to data from the World Bank, total GDP in 2021 is only $230 billion. With a population of approximately 81 million, its per capita GDP is only around $2,800. This level is not only well below the global average, even worse than many African countries. Compared to the gap in the data, Iran's economic problems are more pronounced. Overdependence is caused by a single economic model. This results in a lack of economic resilience and stability. Stable in the market. When oil prices are stable, might barely make it. But in the event of market price fluctuations or external political interference, the economy is at risk of collapsing. We often say, assemble all the eggs in one basket. The child is dangerous because if this basket goes down accidentally, all eggs will break. This is precisely the problem facing Iran today. Excessive dependence is caused by Iran's economic system has become extremely fragile, unable to withstand any shock. In comparison, Israel's knowledge and technology-dependent industries is more robust. Whenever, as long as you have the core technology and expertise, can be in this world. Based on. From an economic perspective, Israel's knowledge and technology-dependent industries undoubtedly better. In the military field, Israel's advantage remains significant. As the most powerful country in the Middle East, its military might cannot be ignored. According to data provided by the Global Firepower Index, the number of active troops in the country is about 173,000. At the same time, the reserve force has about 465,000 people. There are also other paramilitary forces of about 8,000. Comprehensive calculation. The country is currently, the total strength of the armed forces is approximately 646,000. It is worth noting that the country implements a national military service system, require all healthy young people in the country. Military service is mandatory regardless of gender. Therefore, although the size of the country's military may seem small, but actually accepted, a large number of people in formal military training. This has made the country vulnerable to military mobilization. It has great potential. It is not difficult to build a million-strong army in a short period of time. North of Zhuang, the country's air force has about 600 aircraft of various types. The number of fighter jets is approximately 270. On land, the country is equipped with around 1,900 main battle tanks, approximately 8,000 armored vehicles, and about 1,000 personalized cannons. And in terms of maritime power, the country's navy has a total of 67 unique ships. It includes 7 frigates and 5 submarines. In terms of troop size, Iran deal forces number about 575,000, plus 350,000 reserves, and other 90,000 paramilitary forces. The total number of troops up to 1.015 million. Seen its considerable military might. However, in terms of equipment, total number of aircraft of various types in Iran's air equipment, more than 540. The number of fighter jets has reached 220. On land, Iran has about 2,800 main battle tanks, 7,600 armored vehicles, and 3,100 unique artillery pieces. Marine power is not to be driven, owns 142 unique warships. This includes 10 frigates and 19 submarines. From the perspective of army size, Iran clearly has the advantage. But as the old saying goes, soldiers are not more but better, just comparing numbers. It is not a comprehensive measure of the combat effectiveness of an army. Quality is just as important. Take weaponry as an example. 10 second-generation aircraft may be difficult to match with 1 5th-generation machine counterbalance. and 200 second-generation tanks. You might not be able to beat 50. Third-generation tank is really weaponry. It may not be as large as Ichiro in quantity, but its quality level is in a leading position. There's no question. Israel's main fighter jet combination, high-end low matching of F-15 and R-16, represents world-class air power. In sharp contrast to this, another country's fighter jet fleet, mostly faulty M4 and Speed 25 models. Their ability to fly is questionable, even if these fighter jets can take off. Its combat effectiveness is also mostly as an enemy, the target of the square fighter. This shows that, although Iran's military is massive, but its actual combat capabilities in modern warfare really limited. It's more like it's stuck at the level of the 1980s. In a truly high-intensity conflict, such armaments are obviously difficult to deal with. In fact, Israel's military superiority, not only in its combat effectiveness, it is also reflected in deep technical background and comprehensive defense industrial capabilities. Many people may not know. This country is a complete national defense industrial system. Its technological research and development capabilities cover from personal equipment to large aircraft. Domains can even be developed like Taekyung. Advanced defense technology like the system. War is essentially a war of attrition of resources. It requires strong logistical support. The Defense Technology Foundation of Israeli SPAR. It provides crystals in this regard. Stone protection. In comparison, Iran's defense industry appears to be relatively weak. Heavy reliance on imports of external weapons and equipment. Once the import channel is cut off, no matter how much manpower, it is also difficult to exert its due combat effectiveness. After all, you can't just rely on simple tools against opponents with advanced equipment. From my perspective, the political power of a country is often it is reflected in its international influence. In this regard, neither Israel nor Iran is doing enough. Although both have their place on the international stage, but their influence is largely confined to the Middle East, hard to reach globally. However, choosing between the two, Israel's influence is slightly stronger than that of Iran. This is mainly because Israel has powerful supporters behind it. As the Prince of America, Israel in nationality, transactions are often supported. Make it sound louder. Iran, on the other hand, is relatively encouraged. Lack of similar nationality support. In this context, Iran is in competition with Israel, maybe in a more disadvantaged position. So in general, the current Middle East, Israel is clearly more forceful in confronting Iran, but nothing is absolute. Concubine B is lifeless. Well known, Israel is truly a small country. Less than 10 million people. The land area is only 25,000 square kilometers. It's about a quarter the size of South Korea. Small country often means a lack of adequate strategy for life. This is Israel's greatest weakness. Just think about it. Once Iran launch a saturation attack on Israel, or sneak into Israel to fight a bad war, the implication of that is that Israel is unlikely to mature. Why hasn't Israel lost a fight since we've seen it? Because they can't afford to lose. And that's the end of it. The leader who watched the video. Please leave a comment below to share your views. In addition, each point of subscription leads. Click to subscribe. You can see past content. You won't miss the excitement after that. See you next time.
Trong bối cảnh căng thẳng không ngừng giữa Iran và Israel, câu hỏi về khả năng Iran có thể trả đũa Israel một cách thành công ngày càng trở nên nóng bỏng với sự đối đầu kéo dài suốt nhiều thập kỷ qua. Mối quan hệ giữa hai quốc gia này không chỉ đơn giản là sự xung đột về quyền lực mà còn là một cuộc đối đầu đấu tranh và vì ảnh hưởng khu vực và quyền lợi chiến lược. Nhưng liệu Iran thực sự có thể thực hiện một cuộc trả đũa hiệu quả với Israel? Câu trả lời phụ thuộc vào nhiều yếu tố, bao gồm quân sự, chính trị và chiến lược toàn cầu. Tình hình quân sự hiện tại của Iran đã đầu tư mạnh và phát triển khả năng quân sự của mình trong nhiều năm qua, đặc biệt là trong lĩnh vực tên lửa và vũ khí chiến thuật, với một hệ thống tên lửa đạn đạo có khả năng tấn công chính diện của Iran còn hạn chế so với sức mạnh quân sự của Israel, đặc biệt là trong lĩnh vực không gian và không quân. Iran với quân đội hiện tại, các hệ thống phòng thủ tên lửa như Iran và sự hỗ trợ mạnh mẽ từ Mỹ đã sẵn sàng đối phó với bất kỳ mối đe dọa nào. Điều này khiến Iran phải tính toán kỹ hơn khi cân nhắc trả đũa. Cuộc tấn công của Iran có thể gây thiệt hại lớn nhưng không khó có thể đạt được mục tiêu quyết định như phá hủy cơ sở hạ tầng chiến lược của Israel. Tầm quan trọng chiến lược không gian. Iran có tiềm năng để thực hiện một số cuộc trả đũa của Israel, nhưng khả năng thành công của hành động này rất là phức tạp.